Some annual plants, such as nasturtiums, poppies and snapdragons, can be sown directly in the ground, without the need to first cultivate the plants in pots and then move them to the ground in the garden. It's very important that the soil in the bed where you want to place your annual is well worked and that the climate is favourable to the germination of the seeds. Outdoor sowing of flowering annuals is possible from April to May, so that the seeds are not subjected to temperatures below 15 to 20 degrees centigrade. Prepare the ground, first of all uprooting all weeds as far as possible, making sure that the seeds of these plants don't fall into the ground. If you want, you can also use a foliar herbicide in order to cause desiccation of the weeds before you uproot them. Once you have cleaned the ground, work it thoroughly, mixing in mature organic fertilizer or slow-release granular fertilizer. If the garden soil is excessively clayey and compact, you can also add universal soil in order to lighten the mixture. Work by turning the soil and breaking the clods. The better to mix in manure and fresh soil. If you choose to sow plants that require well-drained soil, mix in some sand too. Then level the ground and water with care, so as to moisten it down to at least 4 to 5 centimeters deep. Sow the flowers you have chosen by broadcast or in rows, depending on your needs. If the seeds were very small or very dark, you can mix them with a little light sand so you can see where you have already laid the seeds on the ground, thus avoiding planting the flowers in compact clumps. Then wet the ground further, possibly using a vaporizer. It is essential that in the first week, from sowing to germination, the soil is very wet, so remember to repeat the watering regularly, choosing the coolest hours of the day. If the weather is very hot and dry, you can cover the seeds with a thin layer of vermiculite or cover the beds with non-woven fabric to be anchored to the ground. Do this in such a way as to retain a little more moisture in the surface layer of the soil, which is where the seeds are.